What is normal in your country, but seems weird to the rest of the world? Golden Gay Time. Okay, you're going to have to explain. It is an ice cream in Australia, called Golden Gay Time as in golden happy time. It is pretty delish. Men holding hands in public as a display of friendship is normal in Afghanistan, but super weird in the West. I think it's normal in most of the Middle East and India. Putting cable ties, branches, fake eyes etc on helmets, buckets and hats in springtime, to scare away the birds. Magpies are vicious bastards. Bribing them with fairy bread works sometimes. Putting broken glass bottles on the walls around your house so burglars can't jump it and rob you. I moved to Canada and they don't even have walls around the houses. All of Latin America. Yup, Chile has neighborhoods with fences like these described. Our wildlife is not trying to kill us. Semicolon. I'm fairly sure geese are at the very least plotting. The cracks that are just wide enough to be able to see in and out of public restroom stalls. United States. I've heard it's thought of as weird, since many other countries enjoy the luxury of privacy. How else would you know if the stall is occupied though? Seriously though, as a European having to visit the US twice a year, pooping in the US is stressful. Whole restaurants cheering when a plate or glass is smashed. UK. Once was in a Canadian bar/restaurant on holiday and the waiter dropped a tray of glasses. The local looked horrified when I was out of my seat screaming "We I am Canadian." Would be horrified, haha. Eating with our hands. In 1969, the same year the man landed on the moon, Miss Gloria Diaz coveted the Philippines' first Miss Universe crown. During the preliminary Q&A, she was asked, "Is it true that you Filipinos use your hand when you eat?" To which she replied, "Why do you use your feet?" and went her way to winning the crown. Vegemite. Tax not included in advertised price. Yeah, I find this so weird. Bagged milk. I know it's normal in some places, but not here in the UK. Interestingly, businesses must have caught up with it as every single Costa I've been to has milk in bags. A short while ago they stopped selling alcohol after 10 PM. At some stores you couldn't even get non-alcoholic beer. What's weird though is that wine is not considered alcoholic drink, so you can buy it anytime. Welcome to Moldova. Wow, such gold. Much thanks. In certain US states you can't buy any alcohol in stores after 8 PM or on Sundays. Marrying someone without knowing them and only seeing their face once the marriage is agreed on. Saudi? Yup, unfortunately I have to live in that shithole for about a couple years, but once I'm done I'll be back to Turkey. What's Turkey like? Dry and chewy. Leaving your baby alone outside for their nap, even if it rains or snows. Sparta? Norway, but it's common in all of Scandinavia. That's how we create Vikings. Some dame did it in Chicago, and had the cops called on her. Perfect culture clash. Strangers sitting totally naked skin to skin in a steamy room heated to +80 to +100°C, and us having competitions on who can last the longest in there. I miss Finland. We have matrimonial ads in newspapers and sites to find grooms and brides, which I think don't happen in Western countries, and they find it strange. The ads are mostly published by parents. It's like Tinder supervised by parents. India. India. Can't be angry at this one. In university we thump the tables to applaud our professors, instead of actually applauding, or doing nothing. During my exchange semester everyone not from Germany was looking at me confused why I did this. In my country we don't applaud our professors, at least not in the one I go to. It has only happened once, when the lecture was especially interesting and professionally done. In my experience it's done for guest lecturers, or at the end of the last lecture of the term. Definitely not at the end of every regular lecture though. Cunt is a term of endearment. Context dependent. Context. In my friend's country, Easter is when gangs of boys roam the countryside, pouring water over girls and beating them gently with sticks. The girls then have to thank them for it. I thought that was pretty weird. Zechia in Slovakia. Also it supposes to keep women and girls young and healthy. Well, they had to come up with something. Calling mixed race people cowards. I'm from South Africa and I'm colored, but when I went on holiday in Spain, colored is a derogatory term, but in South Africa it's completely normal. Being left off of maps. Kiwi A. Tasmanians also got the shit end of that stick, at times. Legal drinking age of beer and wine is 16. Hey, I'm visiting Germany, and found that out a few days ago. I wonder what happens if I get drunk in Germany, and still drunk when Holland. What would happen to me? The whole plane would shake their heads in disappointment of their youth, I'm sure. Washing your butthole after taking a crap. Sio considered in Oatilico. Putting chips in our burgers. Which kind of chips? It's a moot question really, because I've eaten both crisps and chips in a burger before. Pregnancy is a wild beast. Computer chips. They add a pleasant bite. Sprinkles on buttered bread is made by fairies, and is perfect for kids' parties. And anything negative said about said treat is sacrilegious. A gelslag is still my favorite childhood school vacation memory. Till the Netherlands and Australia share a delicious treat. Growing up in Australia with Dutch parents was just sprinkles everywhere. Drinking beer before 12:00 clock and seeing it as part of the culture. UK 2. No judgment. I was speaking with a Yank, and they said that the UK is like an airport. It's somehow socially acceptable to drink at any time of the day. Never thought about it that way, but he's right. I find it weirder to discriminate drinking based on the time of day. For me it's all about what I have to do afterwards. Cheese curds and gravy over fries. Canada isn't real. A magical land covered in Christmas, where everyone is nice and syrup literally falls from the trees. Like that's a real place. Nobody eats cheese curds, fries and gravy. Don't be pouting these vicious rumors about, lol. In my country you bike everywhere. Cars aren't used much. For longer distances you mostly use train and public transport. Also being 6 foot is normal. r/userna checks out. Everyone rags on the US for using imperial. But can we talk for a second about how weird we are here in the UK for using both inconsistently? You buy a pint of milk or beer, but a liter of Coke and 25 milliliters of whiskey. People know how many miles to the gallon their cars get, but you buy fuel at pence per liter. You watch the weather forecast and the temperature is in Celsius, but the wind speed is in miles per hour. Most people can tell you their weight in kilograms, and their height in feet. And if they can't give you kilograms they can probably give you stone instead, which is even older than pounds, which nobody uses as a unit of measurement, probably because of the confusion between lbs and pounds. It's a glorious mess. Canada has this same problem. Distance is measured in metric, but height and weight is in imperial. There are lots of other cases. Distance is measured in time. Yep. How far away is Toronto from your house? About 2 hours. Being middle class with a property, having a 6-foot wall, electric fencing linked to an alarm, automated gate and garage doors, with security clamps over the gate motor to prevent theft of the motor, security gates over every door, burglar bars, and a house alarm system with infrared sensors linked to armed response with a reaction time of under 3 to 4 minutes. South Africa? Yep. I was gonna say Argentina. That's also how we live in some places here.